Good morning. Oh my gosh, Mr. Paul Pate, I have been thinking about you. Um, I know you're going through some things. I've been sending you some positive vibes. I really hope everything is going smoothly for you, but you have been on my mind. So, I was going to give you a shout out today anyways, and here you are. You can hear it in person. So, I love ya. Stick in there. Things are going to be okay. Before I get started in today's show, as you can see, my office is full of things because we're waiting for books. But are we waiting for books? Are we? You know about my voices? No, I don't know about your voices. We got any Smashing Pumpkins fans in the chat? Because I would like to say today is the greatest day I've ever known. Do 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 do. Look what I got. Oh, the day is finally here. This, my friends, is issue number 7. So we have three boxes of the 4 came in this morning. The last box is scheduled to come in this afternoon because UPS gotta be like that. Why is UPS gotta be like that? But as long as they show up and they're okay and they're not damaged and they actually deliver them to my house, I'm okay. Just please show up. So, but I haven't gone through all of the boxes yet, but I found a few. I already attached a wooden cover, so as you can see, wooden cover. That's what this is going to look like. Aren't these so cool? They're just amazing. I love these. I would make these all day long every day if it wasn't like a 1,700 step process. Yeah, smash the smell of fresh books in the morning. I know. But look, I got some more to show you. Of course, if y'all are William Russell and Laurie Calcaterra fans, you're getting, of course, another one. This is 7. I couldn't find the book ones yet, but I will when I go through after the show. I will take them all out. I will bag and board them, of course, count them, treat them all with love. But here, of course, is the William Russell issue number 7. There it is. So there's that one. Of course, Catherine Burkhart. Look at that, guys. Look at that color. Gorgeous. And then, of course, I was able to find, this is Wade Codling, of course, the TV propaganda for the undead retirement community. So books are in. I'm going to wait for that last box before we really dive in, but I'm excited. See this over here, this stack of black boxes? Those are all the hot sauce boxes. So the hot sauce is all boxed up and ready to go. Right here, these are the Funko Pops. Over here are the gummies and the hot sauce candy. Behind my head, we got some Big James, some golden BJs. Yes, I said it out loud. There's stickers and t-shirts, and it's all here and ready. So today is the greatest day I've ever known because issue 7 is going to go out. Anyway, let's see who else is in the chat. So Billy, you're listening to voices. Mr. Paul Pate, you are catching my vibes. Good. I'm glad. Yes, fresh books. Carrie, good morning. Good morning. And that's it. There's everybody so far. Everybody's going to start tuning in. Before I bring my guests in, I want to show off one campaign real quick. My buddy William Russell has Rise of the Mummy that's live right now. Of course, you can get on this. There's 9 days left. If you have not seen, he's bringing back the classic monsters. So last campaign was, besides Psycho Sal, there was the werewolf book. This is in the line with that. Gilbert Perez has a beautiful cover. They're all gorgeous, but of course I'm biased because it's Gilbert. So that's the cover that I got. He's got some incredible deals. He's got foils. He's got medals. He's doing this thing called, he was doing blood medals on the Psycho Cell ones, but these are gold. It has like a gold tint to the metal, and they're super cool. So if you have not seen these, go check it out. It's live on Kickstarter for 9 more days. It's a one-shot. It's super fun. Lots of action. Definitely, please go check it out. Oh, and I lettered this book. I did all the trade dresses, etc., etc. So I'm in there too. Anyway, it puts the hot sauce on the skin, or the hot sauce is back in the box again, or it gets the hose again. Is that what we're doing? Okay. All right, enough about me and the mess in the background here. Let me bring in my guest, who's a good friend of mine. And I'm excited to have him on the show because I have not talked to Sebastian in over a year for reasons. So let's bring him on. Everybody say hello.
Hey, I'm
Hi,
back.
welcome.
Do you hear me?
Hi.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I am the hear me now guy. How you been, Laurie?
Welcome to the Tuesday Morning Brew. I'm trying to remember. Have you been on the show before?
Nope, this would be the first
I
time.
think it is. I was like, because I remember harassing you about your book at some point, but I think that was on your show.
Yes. Yes, that was on the nerds when it was there.
So, okay, so great. So first time on the brew, you gotta do your intro. You have to explain to everybody it's like it's your origin story, right? So we need to know um how you got started, things that influence you, what you were reading, when you were reading it, all of it. Just give us the deets, man.
Well,
No, is not the lead singer of Skid Row. Why would you? Is it the hair? What are you going for here, Billy? Billy's in a spicy mood this morning. I don't know.
spicy,
Yeah.
spicy. Well, here we
He's
go.
weird.
My name is Spike Spiegel. I am in witness protection now.
Good morning, George Pappy.
Hello, my name is Sebastian
Oh,
Bonet. I've been on and off as a creator since 2016. First book was Dead Planet. It was a comic that I debuted, which was a horror story, which my love, what's up, Vic, which was my love for aliens and the Thing. It was a sci-fi book. Then I was just
okay.
going around conventions as an artist. The book that I got to come out with was Koncrete Kombat, which actually was featured in Wayward Raven's anthology, We Suck at Comics Volume 1, and in Volume 2, Dungeon Runners. So those are my two comics that I have came out with, which are on my Patreon. Issue 2 is on my Patreon, and I've been working on issue 3, which half of it is on my Patreon. But my origin
Oh, you
story,
are.
I am a geek. That's my origin story. There we go. Did I
There
sum
we
it up?
go. Pretty much, yeah. And I mean, like, what was it, Sebastian? Because this is what is so interesting to me. Because comics, the reason why I love comics, and excuse me while I go on my soapbox here for a second, comics is so great because people from all walks of life can get into this community and start creating comics at different ages and different points and for different reasons. And so it's always interesting to me to hear why someone decided to pull that trigger and do it for themselves. So what was it that you were like, I have to do this? Was it something you always wanted to do, or the story that called to you, or something
Well,
pissed you off and you had to like shove it in their face? Cause that happens.
it was always something I've wanted to do. I mean, what got me into comics obviously was the X-Men. X-Men was my favorite
Yeah.
book. It was the first book I picked up,
Was
and
it
animations and
Chris
everything.
Claremont run? Because that has been the origin story for so many people. The
I
Chris
don't think it
Claremont.
was it was a random one. It was a what if book
Yeah. Oh, what if is so great.
that featured the X-Men, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the whole storytelling aspect of it and everything. With comics, I love that you can do any type of medium with comics, and then
Yeah.
also getting into manga and everything from there. It was just like I just love the storytelling aspects of everything, the worlds that people can create. In the beginning it was being pigeonholed to superheroes, like good versus evil, but then it was digging deeper into the stories, and it was something I've always been thinking about, like how the X-Men dealt with, racism with mutants and humans, how
Yeah.
Fantastic Four dealt with family values, but also too, it also dealt with different family dynamics. The first family,
Yeah.
Peter Parker was just a teen at the time, dealing with life being a superhero and a teen at the same time. Iron Man was dealing with alcoholism. Spawn was dealing with homelessness. So there were different themes that you saw in these stories that just like, oh, this is interesting. It touches up on these topics and everything. So that's what really attracted me to comics, is that, and that's why I was like always a bigger Marvel fan in a way, because they were just, it wasn't very vanilla anymore for me. And then getting into manga, that was the same thing. I hope
Yeah.
that sums it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, I think X-Men, For me, X-Men was really one of the only superheroes. I was okay into Batman. I never really got into Superman or Spider-Man, especially not as a young person. And it's like you said, like super people and like superheroes was one thing, and then digging deeper. For me, what really got me into comics was more of like, who watches The Watchmen, right? So you have these hugely flawed people, and the only person that was really a super being in that book didn't even care about being human anymore. And so it was just this, it was such, I mean, like that to me, that spoke to me. And even though it
And
was superheroes, it was like, this is and it isn't,
you,
right? William?
and it was like that with Superman for me. So for a while, like we all remember the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and there we go, Path of the Pale Rider.
I just wanted to show William because he's here, because this is his cover and it's
That's
gorgeous.
dope, William. It looks beautiful, brother.
I know. I just wanted
Don't
to
mind
make
me.
sure he saw
You
it.
guys see me looking away from the screen is because I'm also at the day job, unfortunately. So I am
It's a
entering in
secret.
people's stuff. It's a secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't rat me out.
He's
Yes, it is.
multitasking. Yeah, we're not gonna tell. Don't share this to his office, please. I could
If
get
you do, tell them to give me a raise.
be like, yeah, if you give me a raise, then I wouldn't have to, work at the same time I'm working. No? All right.
But
Yes,
where
exactly,
I
Paul.
got lost.
There's no really genre, it's just unique stories. And I harp on this all the time. It's like with the I was on another show at one point, Sebastian, where they asked the question, who's better at storytelling, Marvel or DC? And I said, neither. If you want a good story, you got to go to indie, because all the stuff in legacy comics is retconned, and you know what I mean? Like they
Mhm.
just start the canon over from time to time, and then you start again. So if you want a complete story from beginning, middle, and end, you got to come to indie, because that's where you're going to get that. And I always compare it to the TV show Lost versus the TV show Breaking Bad. One is, you can tell one was planned, right? Beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. And Lost just literally gets lost and just meanders everywhere. And so, yeah. What happened to Carrie? Is Carrie not around? Did I miss something? Carrie was here. Yeah,
Uh
see? Carrie's here.
oh.
Billy, are you concerned about Carrie? I don't know. I'm just curious. What's going on there? Is there gossip we need to know? Anyway. So, I mean, where was I going with that? I don't
I don't
remember.
know. We're all lost. Don't worry.
I
Well,
derailed the train.
no, you were saying about indie comics, which I agree.
Yeah.
So to an extent, when it came to great storytelling, at one point, yeah, it was Marvel for me in the beginning, because we all have our origin story where we started from.
Yeah.
Then it was the also to it was the depending on who the writer was. And yeah, one of the biggest issues that they did was that they kept retconning stuff. Like I want to get to the
Yeah.
point where we want to see Peter Parker dealing with life as a superhero dad. Let
Yes.
let Miles Morales take over the teen stuff, as
Yes.
far as it goes to get to cross over with the new age audience. I was with that firm belief that I want to see heroes grow. I think
Yeah.
this is also too where I fell in love with manga as well, because you get a lot of that stuff beginning, middle, and end. Like if you look at the Naruto series, we get it when it started as a
Mm.
kid, teen, and now he's like, with the Boruto series, he's an adult as a dad whose son's now going through his trials, but you still see him. And I'm like, that's where I feel like mainstream comics needed to go. But you get a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff with indies, because indie comics you can navigate. There's something that like what helped me Scott Barnett and Jeff Marzik, they're creators of a book called Dead Man's Party. It's a hitman book, right?
Ooh.
And what's cool about Scott's book, Scott used himself as the model for the character, and sometimes he would draw people he knew who wanted to just be killed off in the book. And it was a great book, and it was fun storytelling, and again, comics can tell themes, they can tell stories, whether it be political or religion, or just help you transport you to another world.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's what
both,
I've always tried to do books.
right? I mean, like you can get a message in there. Um, I mean, I'll use Path as an example. My message is basically beware, beware. You know what I mean? It's like, but I never tell people exactly how to feel. But you're transported to this otherworldly place. But it's like the lies that are the blatant lies that are being told to your face to try and control the masses. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, it goes back to like with remember a lot of those 80s sci-fi flicks and early 90s, they were all like social commentary, but in a way they told the story where you came to the conclusion where you wanted to go,
This
with
is
that
a
story.
common thing now, Paul. I think everybody wants to be in the book and then squished. At least I think we've killed just about every single draw in Path as well, except for one. There's only one person that escaped.
Well,
Everybody else is dead.
I didn't get to kill anybody in my books that
No.
I know, but I got to have fun. I got to be a guest artist as in Wayward Raven's Damn Heroes. So I
Oh.
got to draw and putting them in a lot of different mayhem situations and picking on them in the book, which I had to thank because Mark had to write that. So it kind of helped because it gave the artist Alex a break. It was fun. One scene I had to do one of their characters that like if he was drawing the comics, and one of the things I did is like, yeah, their character can't draw, so I did it like actual like crayon stick figures and scanned it, and that was one of the panels. And then you drew
Hilarious.
Alex in the doghouse. He was like, they fired me as the artist, and then they had to draw him skinny because he lost weight because
He's
he's
like, I'm
losing
not
money.
eating. I'm hungry. Send food.
It was a fun time writing that, getting to work on that story. It was a nice little guest collaboration. I was like, thank you.
Fun. So I have a few questions rolling around in my brain. So because you started in 2016, like 9, almost 10 years ago, it's so much different now. I mean, can you tell us from your experience what it was like starting in 2016 as an indie creator versus now?
Less social media to work out,
I mean, that's a
and
given, right?
and being young and dumb and like, yeah, I'm gonna take over the world. Actually, no, what was cool was I think one of the coolest things back then was actually going to Creative AfterCon to at that time because you meet a lot of people who get into indie comics, and some of the best advice I was given before I got into it, one person was like, learn business.
Mm,
Learn business because you're always going to learn how to write, you're always going to learn how to draw, you're always going to learn everything in comics because you're working in it. But as far as it goes, one of the things you want to learn is the business aspect of things because you do have to treat it as a business. And another one was at Creative AfterCon was with Mark, where at the time when Creative AfterCon was starting, when it was an offsite panel at New York Comic Con 2015, 2016,
yeah.
where they said, yeah, if you're going to get into comics, don't get into it for the love of money, get in for the love of creating your story. Because if you try to get in it for the money, you're going to fizzle out real quick
You're
because
in
they're
the
like,
wrong business.
yeah,
What is
because
it? Someone said to me, they were like, how to make a lot of money, how to make some money in comics, start with a lot of money and then end up with little money. It's like it goes backwards. So you end up investing money into it. But it's not about, like you said, it's not about making it into a money-making machine. It's about getting your story out there.
yeah,
That's the joy of it, right?
yeah. I mean, the joy of this is like, for example, Koncrete Kombat. Been working on the story for a while, and unfortunately, a lot of the times life gets in the way. It happens. That's what
Yeah.
happens as an indie creator. Life does happen. We don't have the big financial backing or anything like these big companies that can just produce a bunch of books out there. And a lot of it too, as an indie creator, you got to be your own marketer. You got to go out there. You got to go talk with people because one of the biggest things I see is that people, when you go do a show, they don't communicate with people. That's a problem.
Mhm.
You're not going to
Mhm.
get out there. That's why I say that's why the best advice was learn business.
Yeah.
But Koncrete Kombat started as a poster. Then it was just different iterations of a story that I kept doing because it had multiple rewrites. And then finally, it was just, this is the story I wanted to tell. And Dungeon Runners is actually a prequel of that story too. So it's just everything that I'm doing right now is telling a big story. Now, do I get it out there quick? I wish I could get it out there quicker, but I'm a one-man team, unfortunately. So if anybody wants to hop
Right.
on this broke train with me and help develop the story, you're more than welcome.
Well, that's the hard part. It's like when you're the writer and the artist and you have to do everything. And that's like it seems it's
Well,
like I look at you and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you can do everything. How cool is that? Like you don't have to rely on anyone." But then I realized like if you're not working on it, nothing is getting done. That's the other side of that coin where it's like you got to do it all.
and the thing too is this is like if you are lucky and fortunate to get to work with a team of creators that have the same end goal, that does help the product
Mhm.
when it helps to develop the story when you can bounce off each other, because I've seen people where their team collaborate and they go far, and then there are people who get together, unfortunately, that it just crumbles, and I feel like that's a degree of trust that's lost. And I feel like that's one of the things too in this day and market. Trust sometimes is like people just want to hold their stuff so close to them that you get afraid to trust other people because you don't know what they're going to do. And that's where it takes to get to know people, networking, get to know how people are. Because one of
Yes.
the most important things I have to say is that I've been happy to get to know the people I've got to work with. So I am not the letter of my books. That's George. We all know George Medina. He's awesome. And
My
that
friend
took,
George.
yeah, and I trust George with my story and everything because I built that relationship with him. All the people who I've gotten to work with, and the thing too is that when we're creators, because we know how it is to work for people who are like, oh, I want you to do this work for free. A lot of the times it's like, I feel bad. I don't want to be bringing people in if I'm not paying them, you know,
Right.
because as one of the things I've had, I got to work on a story Puppet Church. I don't mind sharing the story with you. I don't care about the NDA because they didn't pay me. So as far as it goes, the NDA
Spill
went out
the
the
tea.
window.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm gonna.
So it was a person's book. I had put the whole team together of people who I knew, and
Yeah.
it was to help get this person's book out there. So I had a cover artist, I had a colorer, I had a letterer because George was the letterer. I made sure to get him paid first. In terms of that, I told the colorist, who was also the cover artist, listen, don't worry, don't. I'm not going to put you into this. I'm not going to throw you in the bus with this person because it got to the point where the person was like, oh, I thought I was going to use this Kickstarter money to pay for it. I was like, no, first of all, you said you had a backer. So you had someone funding the book for you. We signed a contract, and it was just something that I was like, yeah, it was a lesson learned.
Yeah.
But that's one
Well,
of the things I don't like to bring people in unless it's like, okay, we can get paid. But if we're all sharing the same goal, I mean, it's going to
it's
different
hard.
things and hard lessons and all that, you know.
It all goes back again to business, and I feel like you're right about that. That one of the things that I learned before I started working for myself, is in a business, your team is everything. And I've worked in retail and I've worked in, like in finance and I ran, small businesses, all of that. And it was like the places with the high turnover, stuff didn't get done. You got to find the good people and you got to treat them well and you have to cultivate them. You know what I mean? Like it's cultivating that relationship. So, like the team that I currently have is Gilbert and Matt and Rachel, and they are wonderful. And I will fight tooth and nail to keep them, right? Because they are a great team. They work well together. They're great with ideas. They're super talented. Like that's what makes us who we are, makes us better. And so I know people are trying to scalp Gilbert. I know Matt's on 12 projects, and I know Rachel has a ton of stuff out there. I want to be the person that they like to work with,
And the
right?
thing is, and be honest about it. I mean, how long did it take you to find that team of people?
It
Because
took
some
a
people,
long time.
no.
We're on book 7. So Gilbert came in on book 5. Matt came in on book 3. But same thing, like I had a different colorist that was attached to book 3 and it didn't work out. And so that person, had started on the book and I had paid the money and I had to cut ties with that person and then spend that money again with Matt. But Matt's part of a team and Matt is staying. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have to find the right people and that's 99% of it. No, I'm not sharing Gilbert. No. I will
Gilbert,
fight.
Gilbert,
I will fight tooth and nail for Gilbert. You can fight me. I will fist fight you. I will bring my sticks. Like, of course,
Gilbert
Gilbert
is
can
not
make
for
a decision.
sale.
Gilbert is not for sale. No, But however, I understand that Gilbert has his own mind and can
Maybe he's on sale for nights and weekends. Who knows?
he might be on sale for a Funko Pop of the new one that we just made. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
nice. Like you've been on Nerds. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, it was a show we had to retire it because
Let's
life.
talk about
Life.
it. What happened there? First of all, talk about the show. The show was fabulous, and I always had a great time, but it was a panel show. Go ahead. Go ahead. You talk now.
So how Nerd started, it was just me. Law
Yeah?
was the guest, and on the very first episode, the dark episode, which we would never talk about, it's the dark episode that we shall not name. It was the pilot episode.
Yeah.
It was just me with always a rotating panel of people. And then Tony came on. I brought Tony on as a co-host. Later on, because Law was always there, he came on as a co-host, and then later in the years, it was Val. So it was four of us.
Yeah.
The show really took off when we were able to do it remotely. So that the pandemic, we did a lot of like
Yeah.
recorded show because before we used to pre-record it in the apartment, but then going live online when we were all in different separate places, that's when the show took effect. We did creative episodes where we talked to creators about their stuff. Um, the unfortunate thing that happened with the creative episode, because during the pandemic, a lot of people didn't care what we were doing, so we had to cut it back. So people who we already had on the show, who we had vibes with, like you, Laurie, whenever you
Yeah.
had a project, would be like, just come back because we know you're going to geek out with us. Because it was
Yeah.
also about trying to showcase the creator's personality in terms of geeking out. So it really wasn't a scripted show. We really walked away from the script. But as far as it goes, that last year, it did get tough to do only because there was a lot going on in our lives, and we didn't feel we were giving 100% anymore to our fans and the guest that was there. So it was time to walk away. So we did the retirement episode. We did the last few episodes and we retired it. Will we ever bring it back? Possibly. But again, everybody's busy. It's a
I know.
busy, it's
See, that's the hard part is now that y'all have that time free, you know what I mean? Because like this is the same thing for like people who play D&D, right? Because there's that day of the week, like Thursday afternoons is D&D time on the Madness, and I have that time put aside, but as soon as it stops and I fill that time with something else, now it's hard for you guys to get back together because your time is all accounted for.
yeah.
So, but I would love it if you guys got the show, if you got the crew back together. I demand to be on that first episode.
Okay.
Demand,
Okay,
Sebastian.
if it happens, but I am in talks with someone else with possibly doing on a show. I've been getting the
Okay.
podcast bug back, but again, like I said, life,
Yeah, I hear
because
you,
this
man.
last year and everything, and like you said, a lot of people, from my experience with what's happening on the market, everything, a lot of people go, oh, it's gotten really expensive. So I'm like, let me figure this out first, so I can give 100% to the viewers and everybody when it comes down to it. Like even right now, I'm dealing with my dad moving to the Philippines. He's
Oh
like,
my
"Yeah, I'm leaving."
God.
I was like, "All right, pops, I gotta help you out. We got you." But
Pop says
yeah.
if you need a home for your show, you can come right here to the Madness, just so you
Oh,
know.
thank you, pops. But
Mhm.
it's been a fun lesson over the last year of learning different
Yeah.
things. And I gotta say, like, I have a third story that I haven't told anybody about.
Oh,
That I'm looking to get submitted into the We Suck at Comics anthology #3. So that's gonna be a fun one that comes out. But I'm going to hint this. I am a fan of many different fandoms, be it
right?
horror, be it sci-fi, and this one is more of my love of a mixture of D&D and furry fandom. So
I'm not gonna sick Killer Karen on anybody unless they give me permission. I don't want a lawsuit.
listen, she already has the golden BJ after me, so
It's right there.
it's right there in the back.
So what's
Um,
the story? What's this new one you're planning, huh?
so
Romance. Is it romance, Sebastian?
actually, it kind of is. It's a little
See?
joke
Ah,
play
we
on. It
called it.
is. It is. It's a funny little story that I thought it was cute to do. It's again, it's my love for the anthro characters, but I wanted to tell a story that was in a line of How I Met Your Mother. It's a little joke on that. So it's fun. It's fun. Clan Sailor. All right. It's a fun little book. So how I got the idea is, so for over the summer, I was actually drawing people's personas. Those are people in the furry fandom and everything. So I was drawing
Oh.
the characters because they're like big cartoon characters to me.
And
I was like,
yes,
this will
Dante,
be
if
way.
you're listening, you heard that correctly. Continue.
So I was drawing a bunch of them, posted it online and everything. So I had got an idea. I was like, oh, let me take the Anther characters I like because I play an Anther character in the D&D podcast. I
Ooh,
play
okay.
Sebastian. And I just wanted to tell this story of how, this guy who's on his journey and takes him in an unexpected turn where he ends up meeting who would be his future love. So that's
Oh.
pretty much where the story goes. It's a nice little short story. So I have fun with it. And what was great about the story, because I'm probably going to walk away from doing color pieces, focus more on black and white, because I got to do. I had one in the works, but might be sued. No.
Paul, you know how I feel about this, right? If y'all that haven't heard me on my soapbox about zombies and romance, like we should probably talk about that at some point.
Well, wasn't there one? What was it that he was turning back into human? Wasn't that like the zombie
Warm
one?
bodies.
There you go.
Do you know how I feel about it?
No. Oh, she thought it was poop.
Okay, no, I have this thing about how genres work, Sebastian. So it's like you take something that's a scary idea, right? It's that it used to be campy, like the classic monsters, the vampires, Frankenstein, right?
Twilight.
And then they make it super scary. So let's talk about zombies. So slow moving zombies, and then fast moving zombies, and then virus zombies, right? So it's terrifying and it's everywhere. And then when we get to romance, the genre is died.
No. When you
It's
get
dead.
to
And it,
space, when you
no,
go
not
into space,
into space. Obviously,
yeah,
in space. I think you're right.
Jason,
But then
Jason
like, that's
X,
the end of
Fast
it,
and
right?
Furious,
Vampire. Have we got vampires in space?
Leprechaun. Yeah, what was it? Ghost of Mars? Wasn't that like vampires or zombies in space?
Ooh, I think you're right. But that was a while ago. Like when we got to Twilight, vampires need to be rebooted and they need to be
That's not a
scary
vampire
again.
movie.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
So
not that. Those are walking disco balls. That's what that was.
So that's my thing is once we get to romance with the scary thing, the you need to start over. It needs to be revamped. It's done, right? So we had sexy vampires, we've had sexy werewolves. Done. We're done, people. Now that we've had sexy zombies, like how can you fall in love with a zombie? That's disgusting. Done. So yeah, now we're into Path of the Pale Rider where we can revamp the zombie genre because no, thank you. Yes, no, I'm sorry. I will get off my space is the very end. Jason X, wasn't it in space? Like,
Yeah, it was in space. Jason X was in space.
and then did we get
And
anything after that? Like, did they revamp it? Did they
we
start it over?
we did. I think after that you got Jason versus Freddy, which didn't do well. Give me a second. Jason X didn't do well.
No.
Freddy versus Jason didn't do well.
I mean,
Because it was a lot of mixed.
unless it's sci-fi and it's supposed to be in space, don't put your shit in space.
There was Leprechaun in space. There was Hellraiser in space.
Come on.
I listen when you had the Sci-Fi Channel, you saw all the. Yes, he shot a car in space. Yes, Ludacris and Tyrese's characters were in space in a car.
I stopped watching those a long time ago. I really think at some point we're gonna get Fast and Furious and Transformers crossover with Jurassic Park. You watch. Yeah.
I think they wanted to do that, but now they're like, no, we're gonna retire the series.
They've done everything else. What
They've
else?
done it all.
They gotta drive Bumblebee so they can yell at the car while they're driving it.
Let's one up at the Van Diesel crosses over with Care Bears and Fast and Furious. There we go.
Care Bears. We haven't seen Care Bears in a while.
They instead of cars, they're racing My Little Ponies.
Which is also hilarious. But what is going on, Carrie? My brain said they were walking disco balls, and my mind went to the recreation of Wrecking Ball. I came in like a wrecking ball. There we go. What else is going on? I won't be done until Jaws in space. Wait. There was a ghost shark.
There was Ghost. I mean, as far as it goes, there with shark movies, we listen. We got Sharknado. We have a whole series of Sharknado. There's nothing that's going to be different when it comes because everybody's trying to one up Sharknado now. You have Octopus Shark. You have Sharkosaurus Rex or whatever. And talking of getting back to zombies, you have Black Sheep, which is about zombie sheep.
Well, I mean, like, no, we got Zombievers. Zombievers takes the cake. That's if you guys haven't seen Zombievers, I mean, go see it once. I'm not saying to see it. It's not in any way, shape, or form good, but it's entertaining. It's
Well, there was
Zombievers.
wasn't there also Cooties, where it was the kid zombies?
Zombies.
Yeah, it was like they were sneezing and everything. It was a zombie virus spread it amongst them. It's called Cooties. See, I'm a wealth of crappy knowledge.
See, this is what I'm okay. So I have a problem with Hollywood because how do we have cooties, but we don't have a concrete? We don't have Koncrete Kombat yet. What's wrong with this picture? We have that. What's that movie about a tire rubber?
I don't know, man. Maybe I know the wrong people. Need some backers. Come on, just shut up and give me your money.
And I think that's what it is. It's like we don't know the right people. We don't know the right. I'm not, in a family where they're like into Hollywood and they're like, yeah, sure, Laurie, make whatever movie you want. Here's $1 million.
Well, we are in an interesting time. Because like for example, if you can get it out there and actually get the sauce of getting in front of the right people, and I'm not talking about investors and everything, but the right crowd that wants to fund your stuff and wants to be behind it. Look at Has Been Hotel and A Hell of a Boss. They started as YouTube shorts and shows.
Yes.
My links are all over the place.
I'm gonna get it for you. He's the one that he sent me is the Instagram one, Carrie.
I'm all over the place when I can.
He's everywhere. Hey, Keith. How are you, man? Good morning. But yeah, you can find Sebastian everywhere. Hold, please. I will get you the Sebastian Instagram link. This is why we ask, right? So we can get it. Here we go.
Don't mind me. I'm telling people no right now.
Say what?
Like I said, I'm not at the day job.
Well, hold, please. I'll get it for you.
Oh, this is it.
I'll be right there. I'm not going anywhere. So
I'm here, my beautiful face with the beard.
I'll just leave Sebastian hanging. All right. So was it last campaign or the campaign before? I forget, but I talked Gilbert into drawing Big James as Big Boy with a nasty burger in his hand. And then my friend Carissa Grant knows a sculptor, so we sculpted one. Right? So it's
nice.
Big James, Big Boy. And part of the cool part of her sculptor is not only did he sculpt this, but I got the STL file for it. So then I was able to 3D print them myself because I have a 3D printer. And so I 3D printed these and I was like, what would be hilarious? Hey, look who it is. Ta-da.
Ta-da, George.
George has appeared. Now it's time to end the show.
There we go. George, I'm gonna go hide now, George.
Yeah, bye, George. Just kidding. We love you. So I decided to spray paint them gold and it'd be like an Oscar. So if you make it through the Choose Your Own Adventure book on the first try, I send you a golden BJ. So that's what this is, Carrie. Sorry. You want a silver one? Why?
It's funny, Laurie, because even I got my character sculpted too.
It's Bernadette, right?
That's Beatrice.
Beatrice. Dang it, I was so close. I
gotta give my shout out to Shadow Rabbit. No, it's a clay statue by Shadow Rabbit.
Shadow Rabbit.
Louis Schaefer.
Yeah, I love him. I've been on his show.
He did that custom for me. It has magnets on the bottom, so if I have like a metal stand.
Yeah.
So that's been a talking piece when I did my last show, which was in 20. Damn, I don't remember when I did my last show. I did Metropolis, and that was a nice little talking piece because people stopped at the table. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, thank you. Buy my shit.
I know. It's always good to have the thing that catches people's attention. Or if you're lucky, the person next to you has the thing and they stop at the table next to you and you still get to capitalize on the people stopping to see the thing. That
Well,
happens.
one of the things I didn't get to bring up the last show, but what I used to bring with me at some shows, some of the smaller shows, I actually have a Buster Sword from Final Fantasy.
What?
That's actually it's actually human size and all that's life size, and I would have that at the table.
Oh my God.
So I was like, yeah. So all the people in costume or people of fantasy and everything into that would stop by the table and actually take a look at the sword. And it was a great conversation piece.
Exactly. I mean, that's half the battle is just getting people to the table and to have them stop and just talk to you, right?
See,
Because then they get to know you and then like, what do you do? And oh, I write comics and oh, here it, what comic do you write? Here it is.
well, one of the cool, like I said, working with indie community when you're networking with people, one of the cool things I learned was from Justin Stahl.
Mhm.
Um, actually, no, not Justin. Frank Kaponica, Stan Kaponica. He was the showrunner for Great Philadelphia Comic Con when it was around. And I believe that was the third show I was doing. He was like, hey, listen, I'll teach you how to sell your books. What you do is this: you have a conversation with people, just talk about random stuff, have fun with it. Then in the middle of the conversation, throw in your pitch and go right back. It's like, I guarantee you're going to sell more of your book. And I did.
Interesting.
And Stan's always been, every time I see him, he is my favorite curmudgeon every time I see him. I love the guy.
Curmudgeon.
I say it joking but Stan's awesome. Stan's awesome. I have always a great time seeing him. Whenever he had stories printed with Source Point Press, The Rejected, was a great book, and again, it's always smile seeing him and a bunch of the guys who I ended up going through with Creative Aftercon and just running through shows. So, like I said, it's always about networking, and the indie
Yeah,
family is the indie family. Like, come on, you got Sam out there.
this is true.
We get we gave you Sam. We tell him leave Jersey, go to Texas, get out of here, Sam.
You kicked him out. Oh, but no, Sam Vera is one of my favorite people on the planet. I love when I'm at a con with Sam. In fact, I've always said like I wish I had a list of the cons that he goes to and I would just like sign up whenever he does because he's so smart with the way that he goes to cons and his setup, and it's like people could learn a ton from Sam Vera about how to promote your comic in person and at Comic Cons.
Yeah, Sam, and anybody who's doing indie comics, if you see Sam Kopanica, I don't ask me how to spell it. If you see Sam in a show, he's a very approachable dude. He's always wealth of advice to give and everything. And he's had fun for such a long time in indie comics. I remember meeting Sam. Well, I didn't per se get to meet Sam, but he was at the table with George when I first met George, because George was actually the first person to buy one of my comics. Dead
Really?
Planet. Because, yeah, George was
Oh,
part of Mass Studios.
yeah.
Was him and Sam when they first started out getting into comics and everything, because that was how their whole crew started when they were doing the podcast to Catch the Craze, and they took a hiatus and then they came back. But they've always been great people. And from what George tells me, Sam is a tall dude in person. Never got Sam in person, but Sam has always been an awesome dude, even with just joking on the podcast and everything. Another great guy who I've learned from marketing from was Bun. I could share his page and all that too if you go to my social media, but he's a great artist
Calvin
who,
Bun? Kevin?
no, I'll send you his stuff.
I
But
met him, but I didn't get to interact with him because we were busy. He was across the aisle from me and I was looking at all his books. But it
so
was
he doesn't have comics. This
no,
guy's an artist.
I'm thinking someone else.
Yeah, you're because he doesn't do comics. He's a big artist that knows how to market his stuff. I'll send that to you right now so you could take a look at it.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. It's been a fun day. Holidays. There you go. I texted to you.
Got it. Ooh. Bun. How do you pronounce his last name?
Again, I am
Lung.
If anybody has ever seen the Nerds of the Round podcast, which I'm gonna say it now, I am known as the butcher of names. I have butchered names plenty of times. Laurie has witnessed this.
I'm just trying to get you to say it.
You're not gonna get me to say it. I've learned my lesson.
Come on.
The head speaks, but the mouth doesn't follow.
It's that was really one of the highlights of the show, is trying to get you to say things.
I think.
Look at this setup.
Yeah.
Woo!
He's an awesome dude, fantastic artist. That's all his stuff and all that. And again, as you see how he has set up his tables,
Yeah,
that is he draws a lot of people into his tables and all that. And Bun has always been a good friend too. These are him and his wife Pam. Sometimes they'll divide and conquer, where he'll be at a show and she'll be at a show. But that's one of the tables I would look at in terms of how to market your stuff.
there he is.
See, and he has it
by his son. Never mind, that's not him.
Yeah, his son. Again, if there's anybody with dividing, conquer, and marketing and hitting up shows, Bun is one of those guys, and that's again.
Right. You know, and it's one of those things, like, at some point when I have enough capital, my editor is in Michigan, I'm in Texas, and she has talked about being interested in running like a table. Yeah, I know. What an incredible setup, right? That's crazy. So it could be like, I would have to duplicate all of my stuff, but send it to her in Michigan. And then she could sell Path of the Pale Rider in Michigan and do shows. And I don't even have to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
capital.
So what's great about, and again, if you can go to like Johnny C.
Yeah.
You've met Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
At Connecticut convention, he sets his whole setup as a barista stand, because his setup, his comic has to deal, like, there's a coffee brand in his comic, and you buy stuff at his table, and he gives you free cup of coffee. He's actually got this thing made, and it's like, again, what's cool is when he can set up the whole barista stand. He has the barista
the apron
and everything. Yeah,
name tag.
It's yeah. Johnny went, and again, that's great marketing. He's also one of the guys who helps with promotion of EJ in one of the local cons in the area, like in the Hudson Valley and all that. So he's again, Johnny, like, if anybody gets, because he gets to travel to different shows around the country. He's done like San Diego Comic Con and all that. You get to meet Johnny C. He's a great dude too. He's always a great person to work with, and very lively. He's awesome.
The opening to his show is like death metal and anime, and every time I watch it, I'm always like in the background, and then I come out, I'm like, hi, I'm Laurie Calcaterra, like just, I'm sure he's laughing at me from watching me metal out in the back. So Carrie says, Sebastian, you're not alone with pronouncing things. You should hear Pops and Les Gardner say horror. It sounds more like horror. The more they sound, the more sealed they sound. Or
Listen, I have been, again, known as the butcher of names, and it started because of Game of Thrones. I blame Game of Thrones. Yeah, because I blame Game of Thrones just because it's like you try to pronounce everybody's names. Daenerys or stuff like that. Like, and then you go with the New York accent, and it's like, I'm going to be like the garden. And there you go. It's like, this is not right, man.
Oh my gosh, so funny. So what was that? There was something I was going to ask you. Oh no, I want to give you crap about our books. Okay, so speaking of your podcast, I got on there. I was babying comics, right? And I started talking about how Path works and blah, blah, and issue 1. And of course, you all know Big James is in that. It's a bad day for Diana Prince. And Sebastian gave me the hardest time about this horse kicking the bucket in the first issue. Like, ripped me to shreds.
I don't ripped me to shreds. We were having fun with it. I was like, oh, damn, you made me love this horse. And I was like,
took my horse away. This horse, and how dare you kill this horse, and blah blah, and drinking our tears.
It was also low. I mean, it was trauma dumping on us.
It was what it was supposed to, right? It was supposed to be traumatizing. Yeah. And then I get the pleasure of reading the first collection of Koncrete Kombat. And yeah, you're making that face, aren't you? So
No,
at the end of the first issue, Sebastian kills. I'm gonna spoil it. Is it okay?
but it should have been out for a while.
Yeah,
But
I was
again,
like, I just want to make sure before I
it's
just
first
blurt it out.
issue.
So there's a main character, this kid, and he kills his mother at the end of the book in front of him. So I was like, like the pot calling the kettle black. Here he is talking about how devastating. This happens too. Like Chris Brown is the other one who was always giving me crap about Diana Prince, and then he like kills a kid on page 3 in his book. And I just have to laugh at you guys because I'm like, now I see. Now I see. Yeah, you do the same thing.
But so here's the funny story about that. That wasn't in the original scripting of the story.
It wasn't.
Um, so Concrete Combat, when it started, just to give you the origins of it, I had designed a poster that was of a character that looked like it was of a Dragon Ball Z type style holding a basketball. And then I told my buddy, I'm going to call the poster Concrete Combat. He's like, that will make a dope story. I was like, okay.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I fell in love with Hunter x Hunter. And so
Mhm.
what I did is I was working on that. And my first story was very heavily influenced on Hunter x Hunter. And I didn't really do any deaths in that iteration.
Really?
But I didn't really have a story that I was really grounded with or committed to with that. So then we redid it again, and it still wasn't there. And then I had the help because I asked my buddy Eric, "Can you read this?" So third iteration that I did was kind of trying to move away from that Hunter x Hunter. It was a nightmare sequence. I think I featured it on my Patreon, the third iteration of the story on there, where it's just a nightmare sequence. Again, it didn't have anything to do involving the mother. The character who plays the mother was actually a design of a character that was probably going to be in the later original series, but I decided to keep the design and make the character the mother. And I was like, I need something more impactful.
Yes.
And so I went away from more of the Hunter x Hunter vibes. I stuck with the cyberpunk fantasy vibes. I wanted to create this world, but then also too wanted to give something that would very impactful the readers of where this character's journey is going to go. And
Before you continue, can I put up the splash page from the beginning of the first issue?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, I just want to show people what you're talking about. And hi, Fish, how are you? I'm not going to go through this. This is not for public. I just wanted to show you, a snippet of what we're talking about because this is his beloved book, and you all can get this book as well, Koncrete Kombat. But anyway, continue.
So in this story, I wanted to really do something to really one thing was showcase the dynamics of the characters. So I focused a lot on the family dynamic,
Yes.
where it was the family, they're involved in the sport, but it's also to how do you show the danger that's in this world. And that's when I came up with the whole thing of I'm gonna kill the mother. Now
That
there's
was kind of
reasons,
drastic. I mean, you can
why,
take it in
and
a
I was
lot of
like,
ways. You got to kill this
but
mama. What the heck?
you have to. But one of the things I wanted to do was just again, it's definitely a character. Micah and Beatrice, they're the main characters of the story.
Yeah.
Both of them are affected by this tragic event because, spoiler, it was Beatrice's father that killed Micah's mother.
Dun dun dun.
You learn that, and at the end of the day, as far as it goes, I just really, really wanted to set the tone with this book.
Exactly. So see, this is okay. So you answered the reason why I kill off Diana Prince. I'm just gonna be salty about it forever that you gave me such a hard time.
It was
Sets
fun.
the
It was
tone
fun. We
for
had to.
it sets the tone for the world. Exactly. That's what it does. It's like you have this connection with this character and they are gone. God. So this is how it's gonna go. Speaking of Game of Thrones.
But it's like it just was one of those things though that I didn't want to do a death for death's purpose's sake. I wanted to
Yes.
do it where when you get to the second book, you kind of understand where his mind frame is at as a character.
Yes.
Because there is that time skip you get in the second issue. He's like 18 now from 10 years old. And obviously over that time, there's those 8 years, there are a lot of things that definitely changed, and you learn more of what's this world that he's being set up. In the third issue, you get to meet more characters who's going to be like his team of people that he goes through with. But the second issue is where he finally gets to meet Beatrice. You get to see her, they interact. And then in the third issue, you learn a little bit more about her backstory of why she's there in the first place. But you meet characters like Spaz, you meet Anthony, they get in the third issue. And then the fourth issue is pretty much establishing that the rules of the game and deep diving more into that world. So Koncrete Kombat, just it's pretty much a story of Micah and Beatrice navigating this world of dealing with various different things, from corporate greed to people's religious beliefs in this world of how it affects them. But it also deals with the fact, like, are they going to live up with their family's legacy or be crushed by it?
Yeah.
And
It's there's a lot to it. And your issues aren't small either. I'm looking at this first PDF and it's 53 pages.
well, the
So,
first PDF, it's 2 issues. It's
yeah,
issue 1 of Koncrete Kombat and issue 1 of Dungeon Runners.
that's right.
Dungeon Runners is the prequel story, and I'm going to give you a little bit things there too, Laurie, where you're probably going to look back for it. One of the characters in Dungeon Runners appears in Koncrete Kombat issue 1 because she is
Mm.
also one of the main antagonists of the story in the beginning.
I'm gonna have to go back and reread it. I hate it when that happens. Or I don't catch things. I always catch things.
She makes a cameo, and it's funny because she is the one character too that appears in both We Suck at Comics issue 1 and 2, because again, Dungeon Runners and Koncrete Kombat were in the We Suck at Comics anthology. And I have fun with doing this character. And when George wrote it, he's like, yo, that character crazy, because when you see Dungeon Runners, you learn about another character who I'll just name her as Bethany.
Oh.
So, and I told George what this character is. He's like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, yeah. So I got stuff.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
There's lots of good stuff in here. And it's like, I remember reading it the first time, and then I'm going back and rereading it again. I was like, oh yeah, man, this is devastating. And like, this poor kid. And then I got to this page and I was like,
which page? Oh yeah, that's at the end of the Dungeon Runners. That was fun. That was a little bit of a joke for me. I'm like, I'm gonna do this because so Dungeon Runners gives you a little bit of history of this world. And so I was like, yeah, they're looking for a treasure. And what's the treasure? It's a bunch of pictures of me.
Sebastian freaking beer.
Yeah, there we go.
That was awesome. Good morning, Dash. How are you?
You got to have fun when you're creating.
You have to. You have to. It's so funny. Speaking of having fun, hello, Lou, and you haven't missed it yet. Let's play it right now. We're going to play a game, everybody. Of course, my favorite game, and it is called... Would you hug this, Sebastian? Now remember, everybody, there are no points. There's really no rules. All it is Laurie Calcaterra putting things up on the screen that I think are funny and maybe have something to do with Sebastian's comic.
Wait, so I don't get 50,000 points as promised?
Yeah, 1,000 points. 1,000 points, which gets you nothing, except for maybe a
picture of a golden BJ.
Picture of Sebastian drinking beer.
There you go.
That's going to be my prize going forward.
I will send you that picture, autograph it. So like, here you go. That's when my hair was short too. Now it's like super long.
Yeah, I was like, it's like your brother.
So it's vintage Sebastian.
Vintage Sebastian. All right, so you actually get a really easy time. However, there is a theme to these animals that I've pulled for you today, and we will get there at some point. But first, you need to tell me, my friend, would you hug this?
Oh, hell yeah.
That is a koika.
I will hug it.
It looks so happy and smiley. Hold on a second. Let me make it bigger.
Those things are awesome. I've seen videos of them.
Really? Have you been to Australia?
Nope, because Australia has everything that wants to kill you. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that thing probably has like a tail hiding somewhere that stings you and kills you.
Sadly, no, this one, it's just a smiley thing. But fun fact. Oh, Dylan, you're right on time. We just started. Fun fact about koikas is that if they're at risk of being eaten, they will chuck their child. They have a youngling with them. They will actually throw it at the predator and run away.
So they went to the school of hard knocks, taught by Anakin Skywalker, where you give away your younglings. That's it.
They're terrible. They're terrible. They're
That's that's
terrible.
that's. There's a lot of other dark jokes there.
This is where we're going. Okay. Yeah, okay. So everybody's gonna hug that, but it's terrible because they can just have
Funny.
another. Yeah,
I can say I go try to hug it. It's gonna chuck its kid at me like,
exactly.
there's the child support there.
Exactly. All right. This one, my friend, is a specific kind of seal. I think it's called a map seal. Doesn't it look friendly and cute?
I would hug it, but I'm pretty sure it can kill you
Mhm.
too. But I'm gonna hug it.
I don't think this is a predator either. I mean, like, I would hug this as well. Fun fact
Lori,
about
if it's coming from your world, they're all predators.
no, it might be prey. Oh my gosh, Sebastian, we were just coming up with this idea of, you know how like there's always this apocalypse trader,
Oh
that
yeah,
wanders around with like a cow or something that's bringing the goods. What if the cow was undead and it was growing mushrooms? And so the trader was bringing you food in the form of mushrooms that you could pick off of the undead cow. Wouldn't that be great?
that would be awesome. Dead cows, shrooms. Come on, where can you go wrong?
Yeah. Fresh off the cow.
We call that
Sorry,
story.
it's a
We call
predator.
that story. We're gonna call that story "Dead Meat."
Yeah, I like it. I think these do eat fish. Fun fact about this type of seal, they nurse their young for about 12 days and then they leave.
Yo, there's a theme here. These are just like yo. I'll be back. I'm gonna get a carton of milk and never return again. Child
Exactly.
abandonment. That's what
Child
these
abandonment.
animals
12
are.
days old. You're on your own, son. I mean, you should be able to figure it out at 12 days old. No?
I mean, if you can walk and talk, you're good.
Do you like birds, Sebastian?
I hug it. Probably get
You'd
some
hug
food
this
from it
bird?
too.
I don't know. It's a cuckoo bird. It looks okay. It's got a sharp beak. Like you probably need to protect your eyeballs if you're getting close.
Like I said, everything in your world's gonna kill me.
Saying it's from my world. So
I stubbed
cuckoo,
my toe on a couch. That's it. I'm dead.
only if you get gangrene and then you can become undead and then you can blame your toe. How'd you die, Sebastian? Oh, I stubbed my toe, became undead. CPS would have a field day with these animals. I think you're on to something, Dylan. So, fun fact about the cuckoo bird, it lays its eggs in other birds' nests. It ain't even around when they're born.
Listen, that it's dropping the kids off. Sleepover,
It's like,
a long-term sleepover.
bye. Someone else can raise you. Do you like my theme?
I love it.
Um.
You know how they had the book, the show "A Thousand Ways to Die."
Yeah.
I mean, 1,001 ways to leave your kids behind.
It gets worse. It could be worse. I mean, we all know about
Aw.
hamsters.
I mean, true story. I accidentally sat on one.
God.
I don't know if that counts as a hug.
A butt cheek hug. Wasn't it
I
that
mean,
lady that accidentally sat on? She's a big lady. She sat on her dog and couldn't find it, and it was like trapped in her butt cheeks. True story. True story. Yes, hamster is so cute. Would you hug this? I would probably
yeah,
pet
hug a
it.
hamster, but how did
Yeah.
it abandon its kids? Please tell me how.
Oh no, they don't abandon them. They eat them.
There we go. That's a form of abandonment. Cannibalism. That makes it a
Oh.
201 spot.
They're so cute, but all these are just terrible parents. They really are.
I'm
All
gonna
those
make that. I'm
children
gonna
are
make that into a
either
story. That's it.
true story.
Like
They're either
I was just
orphans.
inspired by this. Oh yeah.
Speaking of orphans, we all know about this one too. They lay their eggs and they take off, and their babies there will just be eaten if they can
It,
make it. If they can't make it,
it,
all
it,
rodents
it's
will. Yes.
that's the ultimate gambling right there.
Yeah. I mean, but would you hug a turtle? I mean, I would.
I'll hug a turtle.
Yeah. I
Might try
think
to
it's
snap me
illegal.
depending on the turtle it is, but
I think it's illegal actually to hug certain kinds of turtles because aren't they like considered endangered species? You're not supposed to touch them.
we're all endangered in some form of way.
Sebastian's like, in Laurie's world, we are all endangered. Hug
Fun
probably.
fact.
I would say hug.
Give it a hug.
I would say you could probably hug out. Well, there's one of these I would not hug. Hold please. Let me get that one up. This one I would say probably not hug because it's scary.
I hug it. Probably
This
poke
is
my eyes out.
yeah. I was like, it would probably eat your soft bits.
Listen, I bite it.
No,
It bites
no.
me. We're just nipping on each other in hugs. That's it.
It's a love bite. This is a black hawk or black eagle. Fun fact, they let their newborn eaglets fight to the death and they just watch.
So you're telling me that their newborns instantly go into a gladiator arena? I'm gonna give it a bigger hug now.
I was like, I saved this one for last for you.
Be like, look, we got the kids to raise and then chicken dinner later. Let's go.
Like
That's
you're
enough.
killing your brother. All right, I'm tired of arguing with you guys. Have fun. May the odds be ever in your favor. So yeah, there you go.
If they get
Trade off.
mini battle axes, there we go.
Ooh, you ever seen that guy that does the doodles with the birds? He has like different kind of birds, and he draws like the arms and the battle axes and stuff. The turkeys are hilarious, but he draws like it's just a regular video, but he draws like turkeys with helmets and battle axes chasing people.
Oh yeah, we're waiting for the turkey revolt, and he's just drawing it.
I don't
This is
know.
from my brother and you, in 2022.
They have no right being that aggressive. That's what happens. Y'all are gonna come after us. We're just gonna eat you. We don't care if you taste good or not. We're gonna eat you
Listen,
anyway.
they're learning from the chickens. Chickens are much more aggressive, and they scare me. They come in gangs and look at you sideways with the bar.
And roosters with that extra, they have that claw in the back, that dew claw, I want to say. I don't know. All right, bonus round. You hugging this panda?
Oh hell yeah! It's probably gonna kill me, but I'll hug it.
I don't know. I was debating this with my husband. I was like, technically, it is a bear. Was there ever an instance of a panda bear killing anybody? But then you watch panda videos online, and they're like falling off trees and like rolling. I don't know. I don't think. Do they have it in them to actually eat people? I don't know.
Listen, touch his bamboo. We'll find out.
Also, bad parents, by the way. They often lose interest in their cubs and just you're on your own, son.
I think pandas are like the walking animal equivalents of, I'm not gonna say potheads or stoners, but they just stop. That's it. They're just lazy. They're lazy for everything. If you look it up, like it's like, are we gonna procreate today? No.
Nah.
I'm just lazy.
Just
want
want
to eat bamboo. I just want to eat bamboo all day. That's it. You gonna go watch the kids? He'll fall out of a tree. He'll figure it out.
They do. They fall off of everything. I think at some point someone had asked me if there was an animal that I thought we didn't deserve being saved. And I think before he finished saying his sentence, I was just like, pandas.
Pandas don't know how to save themselves. We're trying to save them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are we trying so hard to save pandas? They can't even save themselves. And that's it. That was the game, everybody. Thank you for playing. Just something silly.
I love the theme there. That was a fun theme.
It's like, what are we getting this week? You actually got things that look nice. I've had some really nasty looking creatures up there for other people. Um,
Aw.
they talk about hugging the rabbit. The rabbit is the worst. Um, yeah, and yeah, they get high on eucalyptus. Uh,
Yes, I do. I'm
mhm.
telling you, see, the nature stoner, the panda.
The panda, or is that the koala bear? Koala bears get high, and all koala bears have
Oh,
chlamydia. Something weird, like they just have it. Moving on. So, okay. So, one of the things that you had touched on earlier before, I want to ask you about. So, anime. Anime and manga are known to have these big, long, scrolling stories like Attack on Titan and Naruto and One Piece, like hundreds of books and hundreds of, if it's animated, episodes, right? How
yeah.
come now do you think like new publishers, like people that you talk to this day and age, are like, hey, I like your series, but we want 4 issues or 6 issues, and that's it. So how could it be so popular in one genre and then other publishers are just like, "Nah, man, 6 issues and out." I don't get that.
I think it depends on the genre that you're doing, and the publisher you're working with. So one of the things I know in indie comics, people get afraid to invest in them because you don't know when a creator is going to finish their story.
Ah.
I've had those instances where I've vested into someone's book and you didn't get a finished story. And I think that's where they're trying to go, okay, if you can give me 6 solid or 4 solid issues, then that publisher is going to want to invest into you.
Hmm.
Where we've all had that where we've met this person, this creator, then all of a sudden they disappear. When you got
Mhm.
one issue of a story and we don't know where it's going.
That's the worst.
Um, I think a lot of people have turned to manga and anime because the big two is Marvel and DC. And I think other companies are trying to start here. Like for a while it was Image, but Image, I
Yeah.
have a whole love hate relationship with Image with their story. But
Why?
um, well, I mean, for a while it was all the '90s stuff that with Image, they were the rock stars. I mean, for
Yeah.
example, Jim Lee ended up selling a lot of his stuff to DC when he became editor. So that was the
Yeah.
Wildstorm imprint that went over to them. Rob Leftfield was doing the Extreme imprint. I don't think and someone tried to cover the whole Extreme imprint when Rob's Leftfield was doing that in terms of the story Youngblood Brigade and what you had to collect in order to know the story. And I think that was one of the things that got a lot of people annoyed. There are only a few issues at Image at that time, like Spawn, that really did well because it was consistent.
Mhm.
So Image didn't have that consistency like it does now, where now you get stories like The Walking Dead, for example, or Invincible.
Right. Because that's my thing is, um, oh, yeah, and when I got into comics, it was around that time, like, Image had already become the heyday, right? And
Yeah.
so I was reading Walking Dead, I was reading Invincible, I was reading Why the Last Man Standing and Black Science, and you know what I mean? Like, all these Saga, all these incredible things were on Image, and they were long-running series. So it's funny to me that now, like, you try to talk to a publisher, and they're like, "How many issues is past? 12 issues, sorry." And I'm like, "Okay."
I think I think what they're trying to find is that, because a lot of Image stuff was a lot of established creative owned. These are
Yes.
people who've worked like Marvel, DC. They'll definitely invest into that. Where I feel like a lot of the studios too are looking for stuff that could eventually be turned into TV shows. You know,
Mhm.
um, but when you have indie publishers out there who are trying to get their books out, I think that they're trying to find if your story has a beginning, middle, and an end. And it just gets tough because in the indie industry, there are a lot of us.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure they sift through a lot of books and all that. I remember going to a Marvel panel where they were going to look at people's art. They're like, make sure you don't show us anything original, no original characters, because they didn't want to deal with any legal issues.
Oh,
Of
okay.
being like, because like I remember they said like the whole history of Venom is that they were like Venom was a stolen character. That was one
Hmm.
instance with that. Um, but at the end of the
I get that, like, I understand, like, even with Netflix, like, if you cannot talk directly to Netflix, you have to go through a literary agent because they don't ever wanna be accused of, "We read your script. Oh, and by the way, we're not gonna buy this, but we're gonna make something exactly like it."
exactly, and that's why I feel like it makes it tough for indie creators
Yeah.
because there's just, and then with the introduction of social media, when that started to become a thing, and then I feel like also too, there's a big miss right now with AI flooding everything.
Yes.
So it gets really tough out there. So you really have to build your audience. I mean, perfect example of someone who's built their audience. Vivian, who created Has Been Hotel and Hello Boss, now
Okay.
has her Amazon deals. There's another studio that created animated shorts and they were putting it on YouTube, and now they're getting big. Their stuff is getting like on stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold
Oh, you're
on.
thinking. I was like, are you working right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. I was joking. But I think gosh, it's so hard for us as indie to get in here and be like running a Kickstarter. At first, you get in here and you're like, Kickstarter sucks, and I want off this merry-go-round because it's so much work, right? And then you pitch to big publishers, and they either don't pay attention to, like, I've pitched to Image, and I've pitched to, yeah, I've pitched and pitched and pitched. I don't even get a decline letter. I get nothing. So there's that. So it's like, okay, well, if I can't go that way, and then you see a lot of the people that were Marvel and DC that are now back in indie, and you ask them why, and then you get their answer that then they can produce their own stuff on their own timeline. So then it's like the Kickstarter cycle seems more and more attractive. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Someday it would be really cool to see Path of the Pale Rider on a screen. I think, when I wrote it as a screenplay, it makes sense to see it visually and with the sound and animated. But if it never happens, I'm okay with that too. I just want to have people read my story, you know?
Oh yeah, and it's the same thing. Like you just want, like I want to tell a story that brings like for people and everything. Let's give me a second. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm at work. I just had to
Yeah.
send this over here, but it's like I want to tell a story that helps transport people to different worlds. I want to tell
Mhm.
different genres of stories where people can pick something that is their cup of tea. Because like there's some stories that are not everybody's cup of tea, and there's some stories that people just like love and all that and want to do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when I did when I did Dead Planet, which
Mhm.
is again, it was not the greatest book I did. It was my first foray into comics. Didn't do a lot of the art digitally. Actually, I did it all freehand and then did it digitally with the inks. The story was my love for aliens. It was my love for The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, because I feel like John Carpenter's The Thing is probably one of the best character
Yes.
dramas.
Yes.
And so, oh, whoops.
It's such a great story. And I mean, like the fact that the scientists in the beginning, when the dog was running to the helicopter, were telling them, that is not a dog. But if you can't speak that language, it's like it's such a, it's lost in translation, and they end up shooting the scientist instead of the dog. It's such a nice little nuanced thing. And it's like once you know what the scientists are actually saying, it's like, oh my God, it's been in front of your face the entire time.
and
So
and that's one of the things what I loved about that story. It was just
mhm.
one of those stories that was very character driven. It didn't heavily rely on the creature, and that was one of the things I wanted to do with Dead Planet. Um, and then the other thing when it came to Concrete Combat, I mean, it just I just wanted to tell a fun overall story, but I also wanted to tell some of the concepts of some of the things I experienced. I wanted to tell a story I wanted to see.
Glenn, why do you
I
always
went
tell my
I
guests to run away from me? I'm just curious.
It should
You
be
know,
opposite.
they
Rory has
volunteer.
been on our show.
Yeah, I was like, they volunteer to come on the show. Sebastian knows. I've talked with Sebastian for years, so he knows how scary I am. Laurie, Glenn, there you go, sir. Nice to see you. Um, I lost my train of thought again. I was reading about the anthologies. Many are in anthologies, and they technically only have to keep publishing it if they keep selling. Potentially due to them coming from a different, like manga, coming from different countries, so different expectation. Hmm. And Paul, I actually have this. So I'm doing blah blah blah. Rolling Squid Bones is doing the trades, not only in the full size but in like a 6x9 size. So I have those, and they sell great. So completely agree with this. They're a cheaper price point and they're really nice. So
And I think that's really so. So when Wayward Raven came out with the anthology We Suck at Comics, it was to
yeah, wait, I got that up here.
yeah, it was really to help creators get their stories told. Like they're taking submissions now, I believe, for the third anthology, but it was really a group of creators that got together to tell their stories. It was the same thing with Comic Book School Panel 1 and Panel 2.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was yeah, I got to work in panel 2 on A. Rubin's story, Mr. Stupendous. He got to do 2 issues of that for panel 1 and panel 2, which was really cool. But We Suck at Comics, it allows you to find various different creators and their creative own projects. So and the third book was a nice table piece because it's actually hardcover.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Mark and Alex did a great job with that book, working with the creators, getting everything. Steve Agnew, who helped them with that book as well, with making sure everybody was connected and contacted. So they've done a lot of great stuff, and that was one of their brainchilds. Was just that with hey, it started like why can't all of us and our friends get together, showcase our stories? So the first one was rejection, which was like people like stories that had to either deal with rejection or stories that got rejected, and
And I
it's
think
over
this is
300
genius.
pages.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think this is genius because like we were just saying, like how many times have we all pitched to the big guys and they don't either rejection letter or don't even respond? And it's like that's why I love comics is because I don't need to wait for you to give me permission to produce my comic. I'm gonna just fucking do it. You
Yeah,
know?
and one of the great things too about the anthology is this. We have to think in terms of how the market's working right now. A lot of
Yeah.
people, from what I hear from a lot of my friends who do shows, is that one of the common complaints is that people can't afford stuff like they used to anymore.
Yes.
Where
Doesn't help it.
you have people selling millions of floppies. There are a lot of floppies out there. You go to a
Yeah.
comics show, you're competing with different artists, different vendors. So what was one of the best ways to get multiple stories out there? People look at this, it's a nice thick book, it's multiple stories, and it has everyone's contact information. So if someone sees a particular artist creator that they see in that book, they can go potentially follow them. Like, see, there goes A. Rubin right there.
Yeah.
His information's in it. And that was one of the way it was used also as a marketing tool for creators to get their stuff. And some people never had their stuff published before by any creator company. And now that they had their stuff in a physical format in this book that people can actually pick up. And one of the cool things they did too is they feature an autograph session where people can go and get their autographs for each and every individual creator that is there. Ah, there he goes, Jeff Ryder. Jeff also writes some great series too. He's another dope person.
Hilarious. But that's exactly it. And I mean, like, being part of the community is so important, and bouncing ideas and bouncing creators off each other. That's one of the things that I think is so important for people if they're trying to grow their audience. Like, for example, William Russell and we have been bouncing our audiences off each other for years now, and we have great crossover, right? And so that's the goal, is to find, a new audience that maybe likes your stuff. That's one of the reasons why I highly recommend creators have their issue number 1 available as a PDF on someone else's campaign. I do it every issue on Kickstarter, where it's like I have a bunch of PDFs that I send people as a stretch goal for free. And it's like, you might find Sebastian's comic and absolutely love it. And guess what? It's your new favorite read. And it didn't cost you anything, and we all win from that. So it's like that's important. I was intimidated, I think, when I did my first anthology, which was I did one with Tom Hutchinson first, and it was just three stories in his issue. It was Big Dog Inc. 14, and I'd never done anything like that before. And I had gotten submission requests for other things, and I had no idea, but this is so great. I did one for Travis Gibbs, the Cthulhu Invades Fairyland, the second volume, and that was great fun. And again, I'm in there with 54 other indie creators, and so someone might pick it up because they want to read Blake's story, and mine happens to be in there. And again, it's like, then we can hopefully make some connections. So,
But the other thing too, what's cool about it is that what you get with an anthology series is your fandoms are crossing over.
Yes.
So it's like, for example, when you go to AA Rubin, his fans get to read my stuff or anybody else's stuff in there who doesn't know about those other creators that are in that
Right.
book.
Right.
Um, and what was cool about the second issue of We Suck at Comics, the second one, in the anthology series, we did also prose stories, where it
Cool.
was where writers got to showcase their written prose, where they some of it was accompanied by an art piece, other of it was just words because again, one of the cool things with the pro stories, it gets to feature also writers who didn't have an artist to do their story. So it's a nice like mixture, and again, it's a nice hardcover book. Look at that beautiful wraparound cover.
I love this cover. Like, I don't know, anything. I mean, I'm wearing skulls right now, but anything skull wise, I'm like, ooh, this calls to me. And
Yeah.
I just
And
love it. It's like all the ideas pouring out of someone's brain with, no filter. They just come right out at you, perfect. Go ahead, Sebastian.
give me a second. I'm sorry.
Let's look at some of the cool stuff in here. Look at this. And I love how all the styles are so different. And this is the great part about anthologies is like,
Yeah, like,
so many different styles, so many different stories. And that's one of the best parts of indie comics is this is all good and it's all correct. And there
well,
isn't one that's like, this is wrong and you can't do this. It's like, break the damn rules. Do it.
well,
Tell your
one of the cool things about one of the stories in there was from a voice actress who just
Oh,
did voiceovers, and it was her first time doing a comic, so she got to get it
ooh,
put in there.
that's
So
amazing.
again, it's a bunch of great people got together, got to get their stories featured. Some people getting their stories out there for the first time, and again, it was a great way to help people market their stuff. And Alex and Mark take this book with them to all different conventions. Some of the artists and creators and writers get their own copies and everything sold at their shows.
Yeah,
So
look.
again, it gets you. If you don't do shows, the book at least gets your stuff out there for people who are doing shows.
Look at this picture. It's very intense.
There you go. That's the voice actress right there,
This
Keiko.
lady?
Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting.
she's awesome. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
we look at comics has always been fun, and now they're doing Volume 3 because people are like, oh, when's the next volume coming out? When's the next volume coming? There goes Johnny C.
Here's Johnny. Here's you. Look at you.
Yep, my 3 selfies.
It's selfieception. Because
There
look,
you go.
in this one, it's you taking the picture of you. How did you do that? Just in here.
A lot of patience and mess ups.
Oh my gosh.
But
Funny.
it's and
Yeah.
again, anybody, if you see Alex and Mark, if you see Wayward Raven Media at a show, they're always great guys to approach and all that. Hey, Ruben, they're always down to talk comics, talk geek, but also too just they're just fundamental great guys.
Yeah.
Mark brews his own beer, by the way, too. So
Good to know. This is always like, okay, you're friends with who? Sebastian? Okay, we can be friends.
friends with everybody. I don't know
I
how.
know, but it's like that's usually how I gauge. You know what I mean? And like, if you're a friend of Gilbert, we could be friends. You know what I mean? If you're a friend of Sebastian, if you're a friend of George, you know what I mean? Then I know like we can be friends. Just because I know you guys are such, creative geniuses and friendly and part of the community, trying to build the community. It's like those are the people that you want to be friends with, like you.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about, like, I say this, like, bad apples pretty much find their way out of the community
Yeah.
because you'll be surprised how small the community is of when bad apples are, and again, I've been fortunate enough to know a lot of great apples. So everybody's been very there with helping with creative, and one of the cool things is every year we'll meet at New York Comic Con, where we would have fun. Yep. Glenn.
That's a great name.
Glenn's another great dude. But we've met every year at New York Comic Con, at Creative After Con. We used to go to a bar, Twins, but then the building got torn down.
Ah.
But now we've been able to find spots to go to every year, get to meet up, and we welcome everybody from letterers, artists, and all that, podcasters, and it's always a great time to because we're coming from all over. Like, we've had people come up from Brazil. So,
Wow.
yeah, and so it's been a great time.
What happened? I pushed the wrong button as usual. Where did it go?
It happens.
Waywardcomics.com, right?
Wayward
Okay.
Raven Media.com.
That's it. Let me waywardraven.com. That's what I was looking for, the actual link. And I pasted instead of copied. I hate that.
Like I said, Mark and Alex are just freaking phenomenal.
There we go. So yeah, that's where you can get a copy of those books, you guys, right off of there.
Yep.
I wanted to show now, okay, this is something that I've been thinking about, but I've never really, I don't know. Patreon. You have a
Yeah.
Patreon.
Still figuring that one out.
Are you
But I
okay?
have a Patreon.
You're like, I have a Patreon, but what do we do?
So for Patreon, I thank everybody who does support me on it because I have a few supporters and I thank them. And I post a lot of stuff on there that I don't post on any of my other social
Mm,
medias. I have the different tiers and I try to keep up with it as much as possible because again, life happens.
yeah.
You know, but like I would put a lot of my whips, my behind the scenes stuff, just various different things that I would put up there that I'm experiencing. Like for example, today's post, um, I do a lot of I so as an artist, you work with a lot of reference images, right?
Yes.
Because you want to see how something's drawn and everything. Sometimes I'll run like either AI prompts or go through different photo libraries to like Photo Bucket and all that. Who remember Photo Bucket to get like different references like train shots, people in costumes and all that because you have to design outfits. And that was one of the things I learned from doing character design when I attended Full Sail. It's the putting everything together to design the different outfits for characters and all that. So I would run
Mm,
that, and what I'll do is like a lot of stuff I come across, I'll share it on my Patreon, stuff that I ran and everything. So like anybody else who wants to use it's there. But I post a lot of like the behind the scenes, the sketches, and all that I can, the drawings. Like I believe I posted that one, the different steps I did with that one from when it started pencil conception, because I do a lot of the digital work for it and all that. So people get to see it all built up. And a lot of my guest appearances. So
that's cool.
yay.
Yeah, but I
That's,
mean, like, that's fine. So, do you find that I don't know how to say this, that it's beneficial to I mean, obviously it's beneficial to have a Patreon, but like how often do you have to post stuff? Does it seem like it's a chore? Does it seem like it I don't know. Because every creator has thought about opening one of these, but it's like, I don't know.
you got it. So with social media, you do have to treat it like a job.
Yes.
Because what Patreon is, it's social media. Because if you look at everything now, like X, I hate calling it X, Twitter.
Right.
I can't. Everything has a subscription module.
Right.
It's based off what platform you're comfortable with using. Because at the end of the day, it's a subscription model. It's social media. It's about getting your stuff out there. Patreon is just a social media platform. You can use it however you see feel comfortable. Obviously you could put public posts where people can see it stuff publicly. You can put paid posts. There's coffee, there's other stuff and all that because again, subscription modules are out there. Like I believe even YouTube now has like subscription modules, so I just treat it like
Yeah.
social media. Don't think about it as a chore, because when you start to feel that it is a chore, it's not fun anymore, but it's about getting it
Right.
out there.
I see what you mean. You got to have fun with it. That's with anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for example, here's one way you could approach it. When you have a picture you post on Instagram, have an exclusive piece of that same picture and you post it on Patreon for paid subscribers. So you sell the value. Like, hey, listen, you got an extra piece on here that is different colors, different layout, different something like that, where it just you find a happy middle, the happy difference. And a lot of the times too, you can put the Patreon where you could set the timer where it's for Patreon subscribers only in the beginning, and then maybe a month or two down the line it goes public. So all
Interesting.
those who subscribe to the Patreon get early access to stuff. So there are
That makes
different
sense.
ways you can flavor it.
That makes sense. See, anytime anybody has a Patreon, I'm always picking their brain. I was like, what else could you do with this? What else
Well,
could it do?
it's kind of like with Kickstarter, a lot of stuff that you like. What else can you do with Kickstarter? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a point where Kickstarter eventually at one point gets oversaturated. I mean, and we're at a point too where if you look, everyone is down for a subscription model. I mean, even when you go to like sites like what's it called, Global Comics now,
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to what was the other one? The first one that started it,
Webtoons.
Webtoons. They have subscription models on their tech. So all of this is just understanding how this, and everyone goes to different platforms. So it's like whatever you post as a subscription on Global Comics, you could probably post it on Patreon. I mean, if they allow you to do that, obviously, you would just look at how it works with the different platforms.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Patreon, I think is, as a writer, I think I would have some challenges just because it's like I'd have to rely on like Gilbert and be like, I need you to make extra art for the Patreon. No?
Well, I mean, there's you can post stuff exclusively, like exclusive written stories on Patreon. I mean, you have various different types of Patreons that are out there, from voice acting to people who are writing to like, maybe even like with the podcast, like if you want to do a behind the scenes segment where it's just for Patreon subscribers only. I mean, there are podcasters who use Patreon for extra stuff. It's just researching and seeing how people are using it. So that this way it's like it's not stealing an idea. It's just like, okay, this is an idea I'm gonna do.
Adapting it for your own audience. And Paul, this is kind of where I feel like too, it's like, especially when I have an active campaign, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I have a Blue Sky, I have a TikTok, I have a website, you know what I mean? Where I feel like I'm posting on all the things, and it's like, do I want to add another place where I need to post? I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt if it's the same content, but it takes so much planning. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but before I run a Kickstarter, I actually plan every single day social media's blurb. Like it's already planned out before we even go live.
And
it's just a lot of planning.
So I had fortunate of getting to know Eric Hutch, who helped with editing issue 1 of Koncrete Kombat, because for a while he had started his own comic company in Beyond when he was on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast now, and he does a lot of social media work. So I get to pick his brain and all that.
Yeah.
Social media is tough because it is, again, it's an unpaid job, but it's for your stuff.
Right.
And when you can get in there and know the sauce and figure out the sauce for it, the flavor or whatever, how you want to word it, it can be a great tool to reach masses of people.
Tell me more. I'm into the sauce.
So a lot of it is, and I guess when it comes down to it, is probably understanding the platform you're on. Pick a platform, understand it, work from there, and then we'll start to build out, understanding how hashtags work, understand how trends work. There are just various different things, and then when you figure out that platform and it builds up from there, then it's like, okay, recycle, rinse, repeat. I think the biggest platforms have been TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, because they've all copied Reels. They've all copied TikTok's format. There's a reason why Vine is probably coming back, because people love short form video. And then it's like, how are people using those subscription models and everything? Because like, for example, there's a podcast called the Shits and Gigs podcast. And their podcasters out from the United Kingdom, and they do use short form video a lot outside of the YouTube, but then they also do with the Patreon. So there are different things that they do, and I try to see how other people are using it and try to just construct of which route better works for me. And a lot of it is trial and error. You're not going to 100% get it. Just don't be afraid to get in there, break a couple of eggs, because I mean, how do you learn to bake the cake?
You got to break some eggs. I always, and speaking of, I always use social media kind of as my beta tester, because I'll try different methods of, and I'm big on the TikToks and the Reels. Like a lot of my advertising and marketing is that short form video. I'll make posts, but I feel like the foot traffic, Paul, the foot traffic from the Reels and the videos is always so much higher than just the static posts with words and sometimes pictures. And this is interesting. There's ways to do this. Like Kickstarter will show you, they usually have a breakdown of where people are accessing your Kickstarter from. Like they can track the data. But you can also make like a vanity link. So for example, and this gets a little technical and you have to keep track of it, but you could create a link that you only share on TikTok, and you can create a link that you only share on Facebook. And so when people click that link and it takes them to the Kickstarter, it can track how many people back your project using a certain link. So that's one of the ways that you can track. It's interesting. So a majority, and I guess this has to speak to my age, a majority of my backers come from that Facebook link. But I've been on Facebook a lot longer than I have all the other platforms as well, you know? And so it just depends. But I am growing my audience on TikTok, and I am growing my audience on Instagram. And those are the main three. I haven't really tapped into the Twitter realm. It's kind of a weird place there.
So yeah, the one person I know who used to mess with Twitter a lot, and they jumped over to Blue Sky, was A. Rubin, because he loved it, because originally with Twitter it was a lot of the writers that he would connect with.
Gotcha.
So give me 1 second. I gotta notate this. But yeah, he would connect with a lot of the writers and all that. And from there, that's when he switched over to Blue Sky, when a lot of writers migrated over there. So he messes with it and all that. And again, it's one of those things that you got to understand the algorithm, your analytics, and it does take work. When you start to see what platform works with what, and like you said, static images don't work anymore. In Instagram, it used to be static images. I remember when Instagram started, it was all the static images. You would post it up there and people were doing it. But then short form video came on, and then it was trying to understand how to use short form video. Like, one of the cool things I like about TikTok, you edit the video, you can edit it through TikTok, and what you post on TikTok, you can repost it right on Instagram because it imports it for you. So now you've knocked off two platforms. And the cool thing is that the music's already licensed on those platforms.
Yes.
It's just a matter of using it towards what you want to use it for, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of times their licenses are slightly different. So I like, I don't know if you guys need to know this information or not, but I like editing my stuff on TikTok. Like sometimes I'll even edit it on my own software with just no music, right, on my computer. And then it's in that short form, in that vertical, I don't know what you call that format. And then I can put it on TikTok and add their music. But then, like you said, on Facebook can push it to Instagram, or if you push it on Instagram, they can push it to Facebook and Threads. And if you put the music, those are all the same conglomerate. So the music just goes along with it. I found that it does get a little buggy. For some reason, the thumbnail is always off. And I try to change it and it just reverts back to whatever it decides is the thumbnail. So some of those, if you look on Instagram, I'm making just ridiculous faces in the thumbnail. I can't change it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's just because I know in some cases that you get to really work on those with the thumbnails and all that. But there's some cases like it just doesn't transfer very well. And I think that's something behind the scenes where a lot of these apps want to be the number one app and take out the other one.
That's interesting.
You get stuck with that happy middle. It's annoying, actually.
Yeah.
But like I said, my buddy, he does it. I pick his brain because he does it for a living now. When it comes down to working on people's social media, he gets hired to do it. So he does like people's analytics. He does the what's it called, the moderation too of their social media channel and all that. I mean, one of his big clients is Frederick Flips. For those who don't know, Frederick Flips broke the Guinness records in flips. So he helps monitor that person's channel. So he's worth every dime he charges.
Wow. But I mean, I wish I could be in a place where I could afford someone to do that.
Yeah. We all do.
That's huge. That's a huge thing because like you said, especially for Sebastian, for you, it's like you're the writer, you're the artist, you're the marketer, you're your own PR. It's like if you got to go to cons and you got to be on podcasts, and it's like all of that extra stuff takes away from writing an art time. But if you don't do the marketing, no one's buying your stuff that you spend all the time writing and creating art for. And so it's just this weird double-edged sword. It's a lot of plates in the air and wearing of hats. It really is a full-time job.
I mean, if you like I said, if you go right back to the beginning, one of the like I said learned was you have to learn business if you're going to get into
Yes.
comics, because it is a business, because you all the stuff that you pay for tables, all the stuff that you pay for printing and all that. Now over the years, social media has been introduced into it, where social media, I guess at the time when I first started, it was static images.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's like,
It's a
it
full on art
evolved.
form at this point.
And if you don't treat it as a business, and if you get in for it just because, oh, I think I'm going to make a lot of money, you're going to phase out. I've
Yeah.
seen so many people come in, um, who think that they're going to be the next Jim Lee. They think they're going to be the next Todd McFarlane, the next, and Mika Adolfo. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's like, you got to think about how many of us want to be that person. And it's like a lot of them, when they don't get picked, they'll call them to pick me. They don't get picked, or they don't see people buying their stuff, or they're not interacting with people. You see them phase out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what happens. And it's like sometimes now I'm in the position where people ask me like, how do I get started? I have this story, I have this idea. How do I get started? How do I plan a Kickstarter? How do I? And every time I sit with a person before they start, I want to remind them, I was like, it's a marathon race. It is not a sprint. You're not going to have an $80,000 stretch goal on your first campaign. Like that ain't going to happen. You got to be in it for the long haul. It's like you're going to find your audience outside of your friends and family, but it just takes time. And so I have to remind myself that time and time again. It's like, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Every time I run a Kickstarter, I'm trying to watch it grow. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Does it mean I'm going to stop? Nah. Too
Here's the
stubborn to quit.
here's the best advice I'm gonna give anybody who asks that, and then they ask me
Yeah.
that question. And I'll give you two things. First, just do it.
Just do
You're
it.
not gonna learn until you do it.
Yes.
And second, fail.
Yeah.
Why? Because fail is just the first attempt in learning.
Agreed. That's some great advice.
Um,
And on that note, it's the end of the show.
oh man,
It always
I'm
goes by
done.
so freaking fast, especially when I have great people on the show and we just have a good time shooting shit. Before we go, I want to remind everybody that Path of the Pale Rider, the digest size, this is the 6x9 size, Mr. Paul Pate, that we love, is on Amazon. Now, you can get this shipped directly to you. It's $15.99. I do have some embossed and signed copies. I only did 10 of them, and they're numbered. So if you want one of those, contact me. It's the same price. I'm not upcharging. It's just $15.99, but I can send that directly to you. So, and that's about it. Please, Sebastian, I know we covered kind of your website and your Patreon, but remind everybody again where to follow you, where they can find you, where they can support you.
You can find me somewhere on the internet to support me anywhere. No, um,
Just
you
Google.
could go to just Google me. You can go to my Instagram, Sebastian Bonet Art. That's the name right there. Right there. If you can see it. And then my Patreon, patreon.com /Bonet Studios. You could find my stories in Wayward Raven Media. So you can actually go to waywardravenmedia.com or Wayward Raven. Just Google them. Great bunch of guys to follow, where you'll get connected with a bunch of awesome creators in their series. We suck at comics. If you want to go back and watch the old podcast episodes, you can go to the Nerds of the Rounds YouTube channel, because those episodes are still up. Show ended last year, and we kept everything up so that this way you guys could just go back, watch the old episodes, geek out. Even the episodes Laurie was a guest on.
Yeah. I was just watching the one where we did Castlevania.
Wow.
I was revisiting some of my visits on there, and I was on the finale as well. I came to pay my tribute to the panel on that one. I was sad. I think I cried at the end. So
I think we all did. It was bittersweet. It was a great run, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe we may come back. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a reunion episode. I mean,
man,
we did a mini reunion on Georgia's show.
did you? Oh, no one told me. I missed it. What the
I
F?
mean, it's still up on their channel. You can go back and watch it. Boost up our likes.
I blame George for this.
We all blame George because we love George.
We do. I know. It's always fun to take the Mickey out of George. He's a good guy. So.
Oh yeah. Great. And again, if you need a good letterer, hire George.
That's true. Or hire me.
Hire
And if
George.
I'm not available, hire George. Just kidding.
Hire George and Laurie. There you go. Hire them
There
both.
we go.
Get one letter half your book, the other one letters the other half.
Ooh, that might be interesting. Or I could letter all one character and he could letter the other characters. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Kind of collaboration there. I like it. Well, my friends, that is the show. Thank you again, Sebastian, for coming on. I'm so honored that you came on today, and it was on the perfect day when all the books showed up. So I'm in a great mood. Not that I'm never in a good mood on the Tuesday morning brew, but I'm on cloud 9 today. So it's just made my day.
Cloud 10.
Cloud 10. Love it. Yes, and hire Lou for covers. Hire Indy. Make more art, make more comics. That's it. Join us next week. We're going to have DM Ray on, and we're going to talk Madcaps 3. I got my copy last week, and it's killer. So I'll show that off next week. Same bat time, same bat place. Remember to kiss your babies. Be excellent to each other. And we'll see you all here next week on the Tuesday Morning Brew. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.